The ideas, procedures, and suggestions contained within this podcast are not intended as a substitute for consulting with a medical professional. All matters regarding your health and fitness require medical consultation and supervision. Welcome to the Warrior Wellness Podcast, a podcast for military members, veterans, and first responders focusing on fitness, health, nutrition, and biohacking. Our mission with this podcast is to introduce America's heroes to lifestyle habits and hacks that will help them live healthier, happier lives, and in turn, be fit enough to continue their support of their communities and country.
Introducing the new Fireteam Whiskey Fitness and Nutrition app. Everything you need to get fit and lose weight right at your fingertips. Choose from hundreds of fitness videos and fitness plans. Search for workouts by fitness level, equipment available, or body part focus. Choose from several nutrition plans and customize your macros. Your entire fitness, nutrition, and wellness plan all scheduled on your calendar. Text a trainer anytime for tips, tricks, and motivation. Achieve your fitness and health goals with the Fireteam Whiskey app. Go to www.fireteamwhiskey.com to get 2 weeks of results for free.
So, Belinda, thank you so much for joining me on the Warrior Wellness Podcast. So we have a ton to talk about. We're not going to get to everything today, I don't think, because there's so much. But I'm so excited to talk to you because you have such a wealth of knowledge in holistic health practices. So you do all the things, basically, and we're going to talk about some of those things. But your company, Healthy Living Moxie, is awesome, and you provide so many wellness services underneath that umbrella. So we're going to talk about a few of those that are that should be of interest to our audience for sure. So let's first talk about Healthy Living Moxie and kind of maybe a general overview of what you guys provide and what you do.
Sure. Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be on the podcast with you. So Healthy Living Moxie, we actually created it 5 years ago. And it was even before I became a yoga therapist. It was this idea to really help embrace healthy living with Moxie, with attitude. So I'm a yoga therapist. My partner's a massage therapist. We work with a medical device that increases blood flow where your cells are fed. And we work with both individuals and practitioners there. But I also have a product. It's a stem cell therapy patch that I introduce to people that helps to activate stem cells in their body, their own natural stem cells. So it's not importing in stem cells, but it activates your own, which is huge in our ability to heal. We have a brain product that we also talk to people about whenever that's appropriate. So we really kind of say, what is the wealth of services? So between massage therapy, yoga therapy, this medical device that increases blood flow, and some of the other products that we have, in addition to education on essential oils and natural non-toxic cleaning products, we basically just see what people need and educate where we can, because people don't understand that what you can get in the store and what you get on the pharmaceutical on the shelves is not always good for their health.
Yeah. So let's underline that and put a couple exclamation points.
Exactly.
Hopefully, if you've been listening to my podcast long enough, or you're a member of Fireteam Whiskey, or follow us anywhere, you know that we say that over and over and over again. Just because it says it's healthy or organic or
natural
or natural or natural flavors, that doesn't mean it's not going to harm you. So. Right. So what you do and what we do are very similar, is we are about kind of educating the consumer to educate themselves and make the best decisions for themselves when it comes to these products that can make a huge impact on your daily health and wellness and long-term longevity and wellness. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And we're going to dive in here into, you focus on kind of non-traditional medical approaches, things that are not being addressed. I just got off another interview with another a guy on his podcast just now, and we talked a lot about this, about the VA specifically, where you may not hear any of these kinds of suggestions from your traditional medical provider. It may never come up in conversation. You know, I'm not going to accuse medical providers of, you know, being seditious or, you know, malicious or in any way, but it's just the way our system is set up. So you're filling in the holes there. It's the standard of care, right? Quote unquote. If you're just listening, I just did air quotes.
Yeah.
So it's the standard of care, and you know, so if they cannot, you know, they're basically they're handcuffed in a lot of ways. And I know, because I'm actually a state licensed medical practitioner, and you're a state practitioner, health practitioner as well with your massage stuff. So there is a standard of care that we have to legally, you know, be bound by. So if you go outside of that box, you know, we can have some repercussions to our licensure. So a lot of us licensed practitioners have decided to step out of that system and, you know, introduce these concepts to our clients. So you may never hear about these things from your medical provider. So that's what, you know, Belinda is here with her company, Healthy Living Moxie, to introduce you to some things that maybe may do even, I mean, the same or even better without the harmful side effects of traditional medical interventions. So let's talk about one of them called microcirculation. So what the heck is that, and how do you guys work with that and introduce this to your clients?
So we have a medical device that is affordable, easy to use, non-invasive. I don't say the name just because it causes me to not really able to say a lot of the details of what it can do. So if anybody wants to learn more, they can go to healthylivingmoxie.com and they can learn more about this specific medical device. But fundamentally, our heart pumps and it pushes blood into the arteries and it pushes blood and it pulls blood from the veins. But what people don't know is that's only 26% of our circulatory system. 74% of our circulatory system have a smooth muscle that keeps moving the blood down to where the cells are fed. And so that slows down as we age, as we have injury, as we're stressed. I mean, everyone is in more stress, but our veterans and everybody who has been in the, you know, in the military and so forth, they're in an incredibly stressed situation. So that slows down that blood flow. So we have a medical device that is very, very, very low frequency, but it's information that increases that blood flow. It actually is able to have 29% more oxygen utilization. So if you were like hyperbaric chamber, you're going to get, you might be in a tank for you know, an hour, 100% in the tank, but what gets into your cells is about 13 to 15%. This product gets 29%. It has the ability to calm and balance the nervous system, that taking people from that sympathetic stress, fight, flight, freeze place to the parasympathetic rest, digest. It allows the blood to flow in areas that our body needs it to flow. I mean, when you're in stress, it is not in the reproductive system, it is not in the digestive system, and it is not flowing to the brain. So when you're constantly in that stage, you can see why people say, you know, they have digestive issues, reproductive issues, and they can't think. When you get that blood flow into where the parasympathetic rest, digest, and healing place, those things function the way they're intended. So it's very simple, and you're just lying on a mat. It's just 8 minutes twice a day. You can also focus applications on areas. So let's say you had discomfort in your arms, or you had digestive issues, or you had issues with lung capacity, or just anywhere. You can focus also in that area. You know, I teach an academy, and we do have doctors that are getting involved, which is really fun. And I love to ask the question, after we teach the real science of the microcirculation, how much of your study did you do and learn about microcirculation? 100% of the time say it was mentioned maybe for a half an hour. It isn't mentioned because there is no medicine that impacts microcirculation. Cardiologists are impacting the macrocirculation, the arteries, the veins, the heart. The microcirculation, this is the only known item that is able to impact that. So it's huge, because more oxygen and nutrients to your cells and more toxins and waste out has a huge impact in your health. and it's easy to use. So I love that product, and it really is like the leading product we talk about with most people.
Yeah, and I can personally attest to, I've used it countless times. One of these days I'm purchasing one.
Your dog even used it. Remember how stressed your dog was?
Used it. Yes. So it's even great for animals. So it is fantastic for people and animals who are recovering from injury, who have chronic medical conditions, maybe progressive medical conditions like Alzheimer's or, Parkinson's or autoimmune, rheumatoid arthritis, anything.
We don't even talk about the diseases. Basically, one of the things that I know is there is 4,600 named diseases. 98% of them are able to be turned around with improved blood flow in where your cells are fed. I mean, just when you think about that, all of those itises, all of those things that people aren't sleeping well, the ability to improve quality of sleep, energy, vitality, and sense of wellness is really what I say that it is able to do. And it's an FDA Class 2 cleared medical device, but it is not insurance coded. And that's because, as we started our conversation, it's not a pill, and that pill for every ill doesn't necessarily work. I heard a doctor say one time, there is no such thing as a pill for every ill, but there is an ill that follows every pill, because there's always a side effect. And everything that I work with does not have a side. Well, it does have a side effect. It's a positive side effect. It's for your health. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it really, you definitely feel, I can attest to, you definitely feel the difference, so you feel just more energized. You just feel like kind of clearer minded, like you just got a really good night's rest. Since I work out a lot, I feel like less inflamed and less sore.
And recovery is huge. We work with a lot of athletes because performance, endurance, and recovery is one of the best things that you're able to do with us. So you're right. Yeah. I agree 100%.
And it makes sense. I mean, just, basically what it's doing is just opening up those little microvessels. And so your blood can flow in, and, all the good blood flow can get in there, and the toxins can come out, and then inflammation can reduce, and your white blood cells can do what they're supposed to do. So it makes sense. Why wouldn't you feel better if you're getting more blood flow in more areas of your body? Right. I mean, obviously there's going to be some benefits to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of scientific studies on, like I said, 29% more oxygen utilization, but 18% more ATP, which a lot of people don't know what that is, but that's adenosine triphosphate. That's the energy center of your cell that makes your cells be more functional. And that is so they can perform what they're supposed to do. So better cells, better tissue, better organs, better body.
Yeah. Do you have that video on your website that you show a lot with the vessels before and after?
I do. That is on there. And so it's a great thing to go to the website to be able to check that out, because you can see how the change can happen in just 8 minutes. It's pretty exciting. And
you have to go to the website to check that out video. So if those of you listening, please go to the website and check that out, because we'll put the link below to Belinda's website to check out that video. Your mind will be blown. You'll be like, yes, I need this in my life.
Thank you. I think everybody does, actually, but
yes, everyone, even animals.
Well, we even have a horse unit. My favorite days are when I go to a barn, because I love people, but people get in their heads and say, I feel better, but I'm not sure if it's in my head. Horses, they just let it all hang out, and they just immediately relax. So it's fun.
Yeah. And we mentioned my dog. So I a dog that I picked up off the street that just was terribly infected and inflamed and horribly sick. And we did the sessions with the device to just help, with his healing process. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So let's go to the next one, which is the lymphatic system. And if we're remembering our biology, then you might know what this is, or anatomy classes, but most people probably don't even know what this is. So what the heck is the lymphatic system, and what do you do for that?
So one of the things I mentioned is I'm a yoga therapist, but I got a specialty in lymphatic yoga. And so The reason why that really tied so nicely with what I'm able to offer people is because people don't understand there is no natural pump for the lymphatic system, that it is required by deep breath and movement that activates it. So nice tapping, breath, and movement help to activate that. But why you care? Your lymphatic system is what clears all the garbage out of your body. If your lymphatic system is not functioning well, you are retaining the trash that your body needs to get rid of. So it actually initiates at that interstitial space where the capillaries are fed. That's where the initiation of it. So the device we talked about is helping to improve that. But then I work with people in demonstrating through breath and tapping and movement, incorporating yoga as well, but you don't have to know yoga to be able to know how to do this. So, we started to say, I kind of work in the areas that people don't necessarily get at their doctors. So my yoga therapy really works in fascia release. That's a netting that is throughout your whole body that connects everything, but sometimes that can get jammed up. And so the ability to do a gentle, not fascia blaster, I am not a proponent of the heavy jamming fascia hard stuff. I am talking about a gentle release of fascia, and then the ability to really activate your body in getting the lymphatic flow is hugely important. So like we started to say, I work in all the areas that are non-traditional. which I love the ability to help people who often, one of the things that we're able to do is give hope. Sometimes people hear from their doctor, there's nothing more we can do. We've done everything we can do, because they have a standard of care. They have to live within those realms. And what we're able to do is really tap into your body's self-healing capacity, which is limitless. And the very first thing that people need is they need hope. They need to recognize they can have that life that they want to have. They can do the things they used to be able to do. We're not intended as humans to just have a continual decline until we leave this earth plane. We're supposed to live vibrantly and fully and energetically until it's time to go. And so that's our goal, is to help people have that vibrancy and have that quality of life.
Yeah. And, and the trouble is, I think I read the statistic in a book the other day. It was like something like 98% of the drugs on the market don't actually heal you. It's just a cover up, a suppression of whatever symptoms they're targeting. So people think, that I'm taking this pill and it's going to heal my condition. 98% of the drugs out there, that's not the case. It's just about, suppressing those symptoms and making you feel a little bit better and reduce the suffering. That's it.
Right.
So that's, we're talking about the exact opposite of that, where these are things that are, it's, tapping into your body's natural ability to heal itself. No pills do that.
Right.
Your body can do that.
Exactly. And I often use the example that our approach, our traditional approach to medicine, is as if your battery light is flashing on your car. And what you do is you cut the wire so you don't see that light flashing anymore. You don't change the battery. You haven't fixed the original root cause of the issue. You just don't you eliminated the warning sign, because our body talks to us all the time, and the ability to tap into that really is meaningful. When we don't have the blood flow we need, or we don't have the lymphatic flow we need, or we get that warning sign that is pain, that's telling us something. And it's actually to protect ourselves. Our body is always working towards that homeostasis. So by just eliminating the signal, we lose the capacity to change it. And so, our body has the capacity to heal from anything. And really, I tell people the first step is having the hope and the belief that it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's powerful in itself, because I'm sure so many people listening or watching this right now have been in that situation. I personally have too, and I'm sure Belinda, you have too.
I have too. Yes,
Yeah.
I was traditional before, which is why I know the difference.
Exactly, where it's like, you know, I mean, I'm very open about the fact that I started to get suicidal. Like, is this it? Well, I might as well just die then. I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
This is miserable. So I think that, you know, a lot of people get to that place where that's all they're hearing from what they feel like is their only option, which is the medical system, says, well, sorry, nothing else we can do. You know, we tried everything. You're just going to have to deal with it. And it becomes our new norm. You know, and some people just like accept that, and then that's just the process, and you know, they just continue to decline, and that's how they live their life. You know, we just kind of are pushed into accepting that. And, you know, we have to get to a place where we say, no, that's not acceptable. I refuse to accept that. That's not the answer for me. I'm not going to, you know, steadily decline in health and die at an early age. That's not natural, and that's not health. You know, so if it's a healthcare system, why is that the answer? Right?
And what you're doing is teaching people by bringing in so many different people that there are so many options that are out there. And food, you know, food is our medicine. That's always where it starts. Movement and breath, and there's so many things to tap into that are really, really changing. But it doesn't matter your age. I mean, I'm going to be 60 this year. I didn't start this path until after I was 50. You know, I didn't even know. I was in all that I knew, which was the traditional way. And I feel better than I did when I was 30, you know, because I've made so many different changes and choices. So the other thing to tell people is, it doesn't matter how old you are when you make a change, when you make the decision to make a change, you will be able to get on a path that you will feel the best you've ever felt, no matter what your age is.
Fireteam Whiskey is proud to sell Zaya athletic wear. We love the awesome styles, amazing quick dry technology, and best of all, the price. Zaya Active is the official workout wear of Fireteam Whiskey. Go to bit.ly/ZayaFTW and check out all the styles for women, men, and kids.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's never too late. You know, you can start today, but you do have to, you know, get connected with people like Belinda to get access and educated about these options, because you're not going to get these options from your traditional medical provider. So let's talk about the last thing, and then we'll kind of come back around to some of these specific interventions. But the stem cell activation, this is something newer that you're doing, right?
Yeah, I really just started this fall. I was introduced to it, and it's something that I decided to, you know, investigate. And I always do things for myself, but it's literally this little, can't really see it here. Trying to get it where you can see it. So it's this size. You put it on your back, or there's many different patches, but I am talking specifically about stem cell activation, because as we age, our stem cells regeneration decline, and that really helps our body address a variety of things. And the reason why I find this to be really helpful is it's so simple to use. You put it on your body when you wake up in the morning after you shower, and you take it off before you go to bed, or you may wear one that helps you sleep. There's multiple varieties. There's some that will have glutathione in it that will help in detoxing. There's some that will help if people have discomfort and pain. I know a person literally a week ago that I learned canceled his shoulder surgery because he did the patches for just 2 months. His doctor cleared him, and he no longer had discomfort. He had a partial tear, and that all got eliminated. In this product, we're allowed to say the word pain. Sometimes you get different categories you're allowed to say, so it really does address pain. But it is a product that we have begun to incorporate into our offering over the, you know, since the fall. So just a few months ago, but we've already seen a lot of results. But it's exciting that there's so many technologies that are available. And what this does is it's activated by the heat of your body, and it activates the copper peptides in your cells. So it's like a photon light oriented approach to healing, and to, again, tapping into your body's self-healing capacity. So it's simple, it's easy, and it's effective. And so it works hand in hand with all that we do. And, you know, when we have a product that gets things more into your cells, it's going to be more effective. But if we can also have a product that enhances your stem cells, I mean, that's game changing. So do you put it
near that, like an area of discomfort, or does it matter where you put it? Or
so I typically, I don't want to take time to turn around and show you on my back, but I actually have it right here on my back. And so that is getting for the central nervous system. So there's acupuncture lines. There is the governing vessel that comes up, and then there is the I'm just drawing a blank. So I also put it on the belly underneath my navel. So for the conception vessel, that's what it is. So okay. You have the different vessels. So having it in those lines that are affecting systemically in the body. Now, okay. For somebody who has discomfort, there's pain patches that you can actually put directly on an area of discomfort. My mother has discomfort in her lower back, and she within 3 days noticed a difference. And so she's just putting the patches on her lower back. That individual who had the shoulder issue put it on his shoulder. So you can move that around to where it works, and you're not limited to just one patch. There are a variety of different ones, but the stem cell is really the baseline to be able to improve. So if people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of injecting stem cells into a joint, an event that may or may not work. This is allowing you to tap into your own body's stem cells to activate them and to make them healthier. So I'm continuing to fight that aging process. I want to have great plans for my 100th birthday, and everything I'm doing is how can we biohack so that we're not aging in that negative way, that we're aging in that positive way. And this is one of those things I'm happy to bring into my life and be able to share that with others.
Yeah. Aging, nothing but a number nowadays. I mean, with the technologies and the natural approaches and biohacking, I mean, we're going to be living longer and longer and healthier with those years.
I was going to say there is longevity and there is quality, and exactly. I intend to have both.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to get with you about those pain patches, because I have this reoccurring, it's always the shoulders for me. But
since I now know you are close by, we'll just get together this weekend and get that taken care of.
Yeah, we definitely have to. I want to try those out for sure. So, and then moving on to the neurotropic. So we've had Dr. Christy on our show a couple of times, so people may be familiar with her name. I know she's taking this now. I've seen her, I've been on retreats with her, and she has her neurotropic, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? Like, I'm always really interested in new stuff. So can you talk about what the heck is a neurotropic? It's NOOTROPIC. Am I saying it right?
You are. Okay. So it's very focused, tiny technology. So we're hearing a lot of things about different nanotechnology and things that are, not necessarily in the positive side, but this is one of those that have very, very, very tiny molecular, and it's this little small size here that you're literally just taking just a couple, not even a couple ounces. I mean, it's just a fraction, and it tastes good every morning, and it is helping to clear the brain over a 3-stage process. So it's actually giving you boosting your mental acuity. It's helping you to have that focus. Some people who have, that black cloud that hangs over you, you can't really wrap your heads around it. A lot of people will say that actually it's mood lifting. So that cloud moves away, that heaviness that some people are feeling. It will help to, increase the energy. It helps to increase performance, just like all the other things we talk about. But it is a product that was released in May of 2020. What a strange year we had, but what a great year for a lot of new things and people becoming interested in learning about new products and changing the way they think about health. I think, there's always good that comes out of bad. And I think this past year and a half, 2 years have made a lot more people focused on taking control of their health. And these products are available to be able to help people. So, getting calm, feeling more calm, improving your mood, having better focus, having better energy by literally a little snap in the morning. It makes it an easy to do things. And that's honestly, those are all the things that I try to do. Lying on a mat 8 minutes twice a day. Who can't do that? Putting a patch on your back. Who can't do that? Snapping this and drinking this in the morning. Who can't do that? So and my way of showing people with yoga, it's really just simple rolling things out and tapping and breathing. Who can't do that? So those are all very simple, easy to incorporate things into your world and your life that don't necessarily have to make you change your world and life. Now, you do the food changes, you do the exercise changes. Each one of those things builds upon the success. But the things that I incorporate are very easy to incorporate into your life.
Yeah. So, and I did want to talk a little bit about that. So the supplement business is, billions and trillions of dollars, right? And there's, supplement stores and everyone carries supplements. You can go into Walmart and they just have aisles of supplements and people just take these random things. I heard we should have more vitamin D. All right, I'm going to get some vitamin D, Oh, I should take vitamin C, and it's just like they have a cart full of supplements and a belly full of supplements every day. And, how do we know that they're effective or working? And, so can you kind of address this issue with just like the information out there and just the overwhelming amount of supplements that we are exposed to and have access to?
Well, there's also source and quality, and that's really what you need to focus on. What is the source? What is the quality of the products that you're addressing? So if you are running into Walmart and you're picking out vitamin C and D and so forth, how do you know that quality and that source doesn't have fillers in there that aren't necessarily supporting you? And so to me, I am not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare licensed to give recommendations on supplements. I also still take my supplements. I can't say that I don't, I still do, but I always am very, very conscious of the source of and who I work with. So I do things for myself, but then I do things that I brought into our Healthy Living Moxie business that I do recommend and refer people to and educate people on. And then they have the ability to try it. I always tell people, give it a month, try it for a month and see if you feel a difference. If you don't, move on. Don't keep doing that. The ability to try something and making that decision and in almost every case, I can't think of one that hasn't. They feel a difference. I also tell people to do things in stages. If you do everything all at the same time, you don't necessarily notice the difference.
Yeah,
so
good point.
Take a month per change and see and be consistent. So, a month doesn't mean you've done something once and the rest of it sit on the counter. Consistency is going to be huge, but give yourself a consistent month and then you evaluate. And that's really where the difference is. But I can tell you, people should be getting their supplements from providers they can trust. They should be understanding what the source is, understanding that it is natural, it is organic, it is, that it really is important, because everything you're putting into your body is what is forming the foundation of your health. It's forming your cells, just like, I know you're all about that, and that's, I've learned a lot from you. But that I don't really want to get it. I don't get into all the supplements and all that. There's so many other people better qualified for that. This is a particular single product that we found to be easy, to be effective, and to be specific to brain health. And that made sense for us to incorporate it into what our offering is.
Yeah. And we talked about it just a little bit earlier, but just want to kind of like re-emphasize this at the end of the our meeting here of I think we all have, you and I both have as well. I think most people have kind of accepted feeling crappy as normal. And can you kind of talk about that and how we can kind of empower ourselves to say no to that?
Absolutely. I was one of those people. I very stressed, ate badly, traveled a lot, had continued fatigue, didn't sleep more than 4 to 5 hours a night. And I really didn't even realize that I could feel better. So the first thing was beginning to change the diet, eliminating some things that were creating an inflammation in our body. And there are some very basic inflammatory foods, which I know you talk about all the time. So I eliminated gluten. That was my product of inflammation. And then I thought, wow, I felt so much better. And then I made changes in, movement. I started doing movement regularly. Then I felt better. I brought the medical device into my life 5 years ago. I mean, I sleep 7 to 9 hours uninterrupted every single night. And that changes your health and energy and ability to feel great. So each one was incrementally better. I got involved in yoga personally in 2010. So, I mean, I did all of these things so much later than so many other people. I mean, I wish I had the wisdom years ago, but I really can feel such a difference. And then, we go on vacation, we do things, and we stop doing some of the good things, and you feel the difference. Like, as you realize how much better you can feel, you recognize and you eliminate the things that you did that caused the issues in your body. When you do go back to a bad habit, you know what it's doing to you and you know how to make that change. So education is absolutely the first step.
Yeah. And you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I mean, if you've been feeling so bad for so long, it's actually normal for you to feel bad. Yeah. So when you actually do something, make a small change and, get the medical device or start doing the patch or start taking the nootropics, start doing some yoga, and you're like, what is this feeling? Like, I actually feel good. I don't recognize this feeling. Like, it's been a very long time. So it's so nice. Like, it's surprising, but it also kind of makes you sad because it's like, oh my gosh, I've accepted this way of feeling like this every single day as my normal. And I could just feel so much better if I just start making some changes.
Are you Fire Team ready? Try the Fire Team Whiskey Spec Ops Keto Joe Shake. The Keto Joe Shake is a medium-chain triglyceride MCT shake derived from non-GMO coconut oil. It contains 17 grams of MCT, 10 grams of high-quality whey protein, and no sugar. It's sweetened with stevia leaf, so you can keep those carbs low and shred that body fat. 25 milligrams of caffeine to give you extra energy for the gym or your busy day. Fire Team Whiskey has been supplying military members deployed all over the world with Spec Ops shakes for over 3 years. Fire Team Whiskey Spec Ops shakes are fueling the fight. Whether you are just trying to lose a few pounds or trying to get that extra edge in the gym, the Fire Team Whiskey Spec Ops shakes are for you. Make sure to stock up now and support our efforts to raise funds for Team RWB, our nonprofit partner that provides social support and fitness events for our nation's heroes.
Knowing that you can make the change is the first thing. I had my period of feeling bad that I didn't do things sooner, but I also now appreciate when you feel the difference, you appreciate the good so much more, so, and also I work with, I know a lot of people in my life from a lot of different areas, and there are some people that aren't ready to make changes, and they are happier to stay with the norm of what they know than make a change. So the first step is knowing you can and having the commitment and willingness to make a change, and then the consistency to stay with it. That's going to really make the difference.
Right. And also the difference is wishing is not going to make it happen, right? actually have to do something about it. And I think we fall into that trap of just taking a random supplement off the Walmart shelf and wishing it would make us feel better. And, you know, it's just like, okay, the label says it's going to do this, and you just wish it does. And you stop there. And there's no, you know, examination of, you know, does this actually make me feel better? You know, did I get any kind of effects from this? You know, if not, then why not? So, and consulting and educating and, you know, going on your website and talking to Belinda and, you know, talking to people like Dr. Christie or myself, and getting and asking those questions and start targeting your approach. Like Belinda said, take baby steps, even if it's just one little thing, one little patch, or, you know, one medical device session. Just take that baby step and then observe and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you never know, you might get surprised and be like, oh my gosh.
What I love is hearing people saying, wow, I'm back on the golf course, I'm back on the tennis court, I'm able to get on the floor and play with my grandchildren. You know, to me, those are huge changes in life. And I love it when we really are able to help people change the quality of their life. It's fun. It is that purpose-driven opportunity to help change people is really exciting. And I'm so glad that I got to be a part of the podcast with you and sharing, because, you know, people just don't know what's out there, what's available.
Yeah. And that's definitely our mission, right? Both of us is just to introduce these concepts, because we know you're not hearing it from the traditional medical system. So hopefully we can catch your ear and you can catch this information and just start asking questions and start experimenting a little bit and see what happens, observe, you know, but you know, above all, not accepting, you know, that this is permanent, that you're going to decline, like Belinda said, and you're, you know, then your life ends, then what? You know, so that's not the way our bodies were designed. We were designed to be, you know, to thrive and to live and to experience joy and wellness and be pain-free and, you know, and have energy, even when you're almost 60 years old.
And sleep well. You're supposed to sleep well. People say, oh, I only need 4 hours. It's like, no, you don't. You need more than that. So
right, exactly. That's, again, going back to maybe that's your norm. But that doesn't mean it's normal for a human to only have 4 hours of sleep. Right. That is definitely going to affect you in a negative way, your health, and in a lot of ways. So, you know, but when you don't know what you don't know. When you finally get on the medical device and you have like the best night's sleep in your life, like decades, and you wake up, you're like, it's like
that's what it's supposed to be. That's what life is supposed. I'm supposed to have that much energy. Yes,
that's what sleep is supposed to feel like, right? Yeah. I mean, we've all probably had those nights where you just like, you literally like wake up and you're like, oh my God, I feel like a miracle happened. Like I feel so wonderful. Like, so that's what it's supposed to feel like.
I'm 5 years with that.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, really, like I want to empty my bank account. Like, what amount of money, like, does it take I don't care how much that costs. Give it to me.
It's affordable and there's financing, so we can talk.
Exactly. I'm coming off of 4 horrible nights of sleep, by the way. So that's why I'm like, just saying this out of like desperation, being crammed into a hotel room with 3 large dogs and a very annoying cat.
Well, you are Wonder Woman.
It's been horrible. It's like I really torture. I'll tell you anything, just let me sleep.
Well, let's plan a connection then. Have you come over and do all of that we're talking about here.
Absolutely. So definitely check out Healthy Living Moxie, and it's the website is healthlivingmoxie.com. And definitely check out that video we talked about. Check out what the medical device actually does to those small blood vessels. It's just amazing. You see really what this medical device does. It's just mind-blowing. So check that out, and definitely reach out to Belinda anytime at Belinda at Healthy Living Moxie. Thanks so much, Belinda, for coming on the Warrior Wellness Podcast. It's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I didn't put my email, but it is belinda@healthylivingmoxie.com. So
Moxie.com, sorry.
Yeah, so you can go to healthylivingmoxie.com for the website, or you can email me and say you want to learn more by just Belinda, BELINDA, at healthylivingmoxie.com, and that's MOXIE, because some people don't always know the spelling of Moxie, so I find myself spelling it regularly, whether they know it or not. Well, thanks for the time. It was great to share with you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks so much again for joining us on another episode of the Warrior Wellness Podcast. Please make sure to subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff on your favorite podcast platform and on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and leave us a review while you're there. And if you screenshot your review, email it to info@fireteamwhiskey.com with your name and address. You'll be entered into our drawing for a prize for just leaving us a review. So let us know what we're doing great, what you'd like to hear more about, and please go ahead and just give us a follow and give us a honest review, especially on iTunes, because that helps us reach other military members, veterans, and first responders with this vitally important information about how to improve their health, fitness, and wellness. We will see you at the next episode of the Warrior Wellness Podcast. I am your podcast host, former Army Captain Stephanie Lincoln, founder of Fire Team Whiskey. When you look good, you feel good. Guys, it's about time you threw away those stained t-shirts and those baggy, saggy shorts and upgrade your gym swagger. Zaya Active is the official workout wear of Fire Team Whiskey. Go to bit.ly/Zaya FTW and check out all the styles for women, men, and kids.